The timing of your retirement is perhaps one of the most important financial and life decisions that you will make, period. The timing decision about when you retire has a tremendous ripple effect. It affects your financial situation, it affects you psychologically, it affects your health. And a lot of times clients will ask me, Ashley, when can I retire? But the question that I'm never asked, almost never asked, which I'm covering today, is why shouldn't I retire? So today, that's what we're talking about in today's videos. 3 reasons why you shouldn't retire. My name is Ashley Micciche, CEO of True North Retirement Advisors, where we specialize in retirement and exit planning for business owners. Okay, so talking about retirement, a lot of us eventually, I think all of us eventually want to stop working and transition into retirement. And I don't think that, well, it seems to me that a lot of clients and a lot of people I talk to, they consider the financial aspect of, do I have enough money to retire? But as I'm going to talk about in today's video, there are a lot of reasons why you might want to keep working. Reason number 1 why you shouldn't retire is that you actually enjoy your work. I've had this happen several times with clients where they get to their early to mid 60s and they start thinking about retirement, because isn't that what you do when you're in your 60s, right? We should stop working. But for most of us today, there are still people who cannot physically work. They have a very physically demanding job and they get to their early 60s or late 50s and they're just done. But especially if you sit at a desk and your work involves, your mind and sitting at a desk and thinking and solving problems and doing those things, we can work now a lot longer. So I recently saw an article about an attorney in New York. This was in the New York Law Journal. This guy is 106 years old and he is still practicing law. In fact, I think he only goes into the office a couple days a week. He had to scale back after he got pneumonia a couple years ago, and it really threw him for a loop on his health there. But this is a guy who is 106 years old. He's one of the founding partners of this big law firm in New York, and he still goes to work. Now, I'm pretty sure he just chats with people in the office. I don't think he's doing a lot of work, but his work is still meaningful to him. It gives him purpose and he enjoys work. I think a lot of people feel this pressure that they have to retire when they can because they can. But keep in mind that for Americans today, for most of us, we derive a lot of our personal sense of identity from our work. And so if you really enjoy your work, you love what you're doing, there's no reason why, in a lot of cases, why you should retire. So reason number 1 why you shouldn't stop working is you actually enjoy your work. Keep working if that's you. Reason number 2 why you shouldn't stop working has to do with your vision that you have for retirement. And this is a bit more nuanced, but what I mean by this is if you are getting close to retirement, you should have a very clear vision of what retirement is going to look like for you. How are you going to spend your time? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to replace the 40 hours of work that you were doing before? Now, a big problem, and this is very prevalent, and a lot of people don't realize what a huge problem this is, but for a lot of Americans, depression and anxiety can set in about 6 to 12 months after you transition into retirement, after the initial woohoo, I'm retired, after the initial luster of retirement wears off, is when a lot of people actually become bored and depressed. Because what they didn't realize is that they didn't have a vision for their retirement. They just wanted to stop working, transition into retirement, and now that they've sort of cleaned out the garage, remodeled the kitchen, and done all the things that they really wanted to do because they couldn't before when they were working, and now that they've done all those things, they're like, okay, what now? the takeaway here is to get crystal clear on your vision of your retirement before you transition into retirement. Reason number 3 why you shouldn't stop working is because of the health benefits. So there have been numerous studies that point to the fact that if you work longer, you will live longer. There's like a statistical significance between working longer and living longer. And this makes a lot of sense because if you're working longer, not only are you usually being more physically active just by working, but you're also keeping your mind active too. So having that cognitive sort of constant training of your mind and sharpening of your mind through problem solving and reasoning and all the things that you need to do when you're on the job every day at work is incredibly beneficial for your health and your longevity. Consider working longer if you want to live longer. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micciche. If you want to know more about transitioning into retirement, you can click on the link below and sign up to get our free white paper, which covers the 5 unexpected things that you should do before you transition into retirement. So there's the obvious things of, making sure you have enough money, but there are also some unexpected things that you should be doing as well before you make that transition into retirement. And in this free white paper, I outline 5 of those unexpected things that you'll want to consider and do before you retire. Thank you so much again for watching. My name is Micciche, and I will see you next week.